Hey guys, Youngblood with you to summarize the verse this week, and with the changes to the subscriber show lineups, we're going to have to make some adjustments to how we do these going forward. With RTV being replaced by the Happy Hour and Monday now going to be having a community-based show, we're going to have to make some changes going forward as needed. So in this video, we're going to go ahead and cover the Persistent Universe Town Hall from Tuesday that had Tony, Todd, Aaron, and Chris on it, as well as the Around the Verse from January 19th. Both of these obviously had a lot of important information, but I'm going to try and do my best to condense these into the short version of what I felt was most relevant. So starting off with the Town Hall, while the game isn't officially a survival game, we find out that if you do crash on a planet, you're likely going to need to use a distress beacon to call for help. But even then, it's not like somebody's going to automatically or magically be able to be there to find you. You're going to need to kind of hunt for some food or water, or maybe try and find materials to help you repair your ship. Now, I'm not real crazy about that second part there because you're likely not, going to have a lot of like tools or refineries available, to turn what you need. So, I'll withhold judgment there, but fixing your super advanced power plant with some raw ore isn't super realistic. Now, in city areas, when you go to land, you're going to have a guided path to land you where you're instructed to. Now, if you end up veering off course, the autopilot's going to kick in and fly you to where you need to go. You can fly in different parts of the city, but you're going to have to do that above the normal traffic flight lanes. Probably the most interesting part of this town hall for me was regarding what happens when you disconnect, and the ship is going to end up persisting for a short while. If no one is around, the ship will end up disappearing until you get back online, but if you're in the middle of combat and try and do like a combat disconnect like it was a plague in Elite Dangerous, your ship's going to be available for people to destroy or try and steal. Now, if there's other players on your ship, they're going to have to figure out who's going to get up to the helm and actually fly it. Now, you're going to have the ability to set who has access to what parts of the ship to help you avoid someone from stealing it. So if you give everyone access to every part of the ship but the pilot station, they can end up doing everything but fly it. Now, if you're not careful about who you let into your ship and you don't set those types of restrictions, it's going to be possible for them to take your ship and sell it on the black market. In regards to the way AI spawn in the universe, it currently populates based on the total, it gives you the total number of hostiles based on how many friendlies are in the area that they end up spawning at. Now, this isn't going to be the same in the Persistent Universe. It's kind of a linear scaling now, but it's going to end up being more dictated by missions, your reputation, and what you're carrying in your ship. Now, I'm hoping that doesn't mean that just because your cargo is valuable that there's going to be more enemies, because that doesn't make a lot of sense, at least until you're scanned. With currency, everyone's going to be using UEC to start, regardless of the species that we interact with. Though there is a potential that eventually they may create individual currencies for each race. So there may be a Banu currency or a Xian currency. And finally, you're going to have a few different types of beacons that you can activate on your ship, with the first being a distress beacon. And that's going to be one that's designed to bring in the local authorities. The second is a distress beacon that you can attract to other players with. And finally, the coolest one is service beacons that you can end up using to customize with filters to attract people to come in to do jobs for you. Like saying, I want a highly skilled engineer to come be my crewman on this ship, or something like that. Or I need an escort, those types of things. Now, on Around the Verse, we learned that they're working on the Explorer flight suit, and that's all these different suits are all going to have different abilities and advantages that you can end up kind of customizing to your needs. The character design continues, and we get some more looks at the new character heads and the hair tech, and they seem to really have come a really long way. They look really sharp. The Drake Buccaneer seems to be coming along very quickly, and the ship is in a gray box stage today, with them working on the cockpit areas and the landing gear, while the main body of the ship, the engines, and the wings have all already been completed. And finally, they're doing a lot of work on the mega map for the Persistent Universe, which includes them working on the object containers, which has a lot of ramifications for how we play the game. But systems like cargo, bounty hunting, item system 2.0, and a whole lot more, basically we're setting up and opening our way into a new gameplay. Now, they did do a background on the development of Pirate Swarm, but it's not really information on new things that are coming. So I'm not going to talk about it here today, but if you do have interest in how that new game type got developed, it would definitely be worth looking at, and there's a link in the description to that video. So that's it for this summary of the verse. If you guys have questions, please let me know, or if you have ideas on how you want to see the new shows presented, please let me know. Otherwise, have yourselves a great day, and take care.